Bruh. Bruh. All right. What do we got here? Oh, man. Ugh. All right. What do we have here? Let's do it. Below the 200 on the hourly chart, holding resistance. Looks like it's starting to make lower lows, possibly going lower. It's a good sign on a higher time frame. We're rejecting that 200 on a higher time frame. I got to keep an eye out on that. 15-minute chart below, we got some imbalances possibly to fill up there before moving lower. Let me look back again at that. Is there any imbalances? Yeah, so there is an imbalance. Couple imbalances on an hourly time frame too that I got to keep an eye out. 5-minute chart. Gonna wait for this 5-minute range to form and see what happens, and then play that 5-minute range. We got a minute and a half for this 5-minute range. About. Dun, 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 dun. We are looking at NASDAQ. NQ. Wow. Perfect timing, huh? Bruh. I can't talk right now, bruh. I can't talk right now. People calling me right at market open. 4 minutes into market open. Bruh. Alright. Let's do that. Let's. A lot of resistance up there, but we do have imbalances to fill. Pretty choppy right now. In the meantime, while I wait for this 5-minute range to close, I'm gonna check news before I forget and get stuck in a freaking trade during news. Alright, today we got no... Alright, never mind. I thought today was. We got pending home sales at 10 a.m. Orange folder. May have some movement in the market. But nothing really crazy. Just gotta pay attention to 10 a.m. pretty much. Alright, this thing is... Alright, whoa. 5-minute range closed. Alright, let me mark this out real quick. There's the top of that 5-minute range right there. And then... Where's the bottom? Alright, there's the bottom of that 5-minute range, so let's see what happens. Waiting for possible displacements. Let's see what happens at the lows. About to take out pre-market lows, so gotta pay attention to that. What's it gonna do at these lows right here? Is it gonna displace, or is this just a sweep to move right back up? Is the question. So far, pretty good displacement happening. So far, it seems to be a displacement. We got lows down there, too, that I gotta be careful with. On a higher time frame. Ooh. Nope. Sweeping it. Ooh, that's a sweep if I've ever seen one. Holy crap. That is a sweep. Yeah, that's a... I gotta be careful with this. I was gonna go short, possibly, but no, no, no. This thing is... Too much buying pressure stepping in here. I don't like how much buying pressure is starting to step in. We're gonna wait. We're gonna wait. We got room to view up there. Buyers trying to step in here. Let's see what happens in this range. We got these highs possibly that it may want to come and take out. We'll see what happens at these lows. We got room to pre-market highs up there. Pre-market highs are way up there. So we just swept pre-market lows. A lot of buying pressure starting to step in. I was thinking about possibly going short, but as much buying pressure that stepped in is kind of was looking for the displacement. Didn't get a displacement. Ended up getting a sweep. So don't want to go against, you know, the momentum here. Wow. Looks like we do still have room, possibly. There's another set of lows down there, too. It's a tough area. I think they're going to want to try to push it up again. Yep, there they step in. Wow. All right. Oh, let me put up, in case I missed any questions. It's the thing. Oh, crap. My bad. Board of Peace? Oh, my gosh. Don't tell me that was the perfect short. What are we... It's a really tough area. It looks like it may want to go lower, failing to go higher. Question is, those lows at play? We got a set of lows down there. But we also got these wicks. If you pay attention to price action, you're getting a lot of these wicks stepping in, which means buying pressure is stepping in. So it's a little dangerous to try to short at these lows here. Trying to get a better... I just don't want to just jump in. Wait for a better confirmation. Oh, okay. Dang, that was a good short. That freaking wick just scared me. I was looking to take a short here, but that freaking wick scared the crap out of me. I thought we were gonna just run to the upside. If it wasn't for that wick, I would have went. If this candle would have closed heavy, I would have 100% shorted this if it popped back up. But that wick just scared the crap out of me. Yeah, it's a tough area because buying pressure is trying to step in. Let's see what happens here. If I can get an imbalance inside of here, this would be interesting if an imbalance can form back inside this range. Kind of break structure and start showing me. So this is how I look at it. If it could show me that it wants to go for those highs, that would be an interesting trade. Or if we break above those highs too, and we start to displace above the view open area, that would also be another interesting opportunity to short. I mean to long, sorry, not short. But as of now, to see what happens. I'm just waiting for something good to... See, we can't get an imbalance back inside this range, which is showing. All right. Okay. Okay. We got view op right there. That's what sucks. Also, see what this next candle does. I need an imbalance. I'm not just buying. See, no imbalance. We could go lower here. Wow. Dang. Wow, looks like we want to go for those lows. Holy crap. What a fake out, if I've ever seen one. Dang. What is this? Do we go for those lows down there? Maybe an interesting area to possibly short here. Be a little... I'd have my stop pretty tight just in case, but... Man, it's such a dangerous area. It's tough. I'm gonna give it a shot. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. It's fine. I'm gonna put my stop just above those highs. If it can't do it, it can't do it. It's not a big risk. And then pretty much these lows are my target. Or we could actually, those lows are my target. Just buying, it's tough. It's just choppy here, so it could go either way. But I think those lows could be at play. We keep rejecting, going with momentum here. So we'll see what happens. I'm willing to put the risk on the table. Seeing if selling pressure could continue, considering selling pressure has been pretty strong here. We got that 10 a.m. mark possibly coming up for a reversal too, so I got to pay attention to that. Got my stop above that 200 area, so that's got that going for me. I'm just trying to keep my stop on the tighter side. Seeing if sellers could take over. Sellers are pretty much dominant in this area because we're below view op. So sellers are kind of in control. But buyers, fudge. This is a dangerous area to trade. It's choppy. Choppy as hell, dude. Ugh. A lot of people getting faked out. Me possibly one of them just about to get faked out. Like, I should have my stop above the view op area, but I don't want to do that, man. I don't want to risk more than I, like. Come on, I need sellers to step in. Take this lower. Drop it. Drop it like it's freaking hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it like it's hot. Drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it like it. We need to take out those lows one more time. Holy chop fest, dude. This is wild. This is some shitty price action if I've ever seen it. God, I'm about to get stopped out. Really? You dumb NASDAQ. That first short. Should have took that first short. Bastards. Oh my gosh. I should have my stop. I don't want to do that though. Nah, screw that. I'm not touching my stop. If I get stopped out, I get stopped out. Ah, you bastards. You freaking bastards. Drop it! Come on! Oh my gosh. Bro. Come on! Oh, you freaking... Oh my gosh, you idiots. Stopped out. You freaking... I want to slap a market maker. Alright, we wait then. Ugh! I knew it was a dangerous area to short. We swept pre-market lows, so it is what it is. I figured I should have had my stop above that view op, but that was too much of a risk for me. It looks like I would have got stopped out even if I had it up view up. Now I want to see if it breaks. If this could break view op and start displacing, then let's take it higher. Yeah, we got news at 10 a.m. When is that? It's like in 8 minutes. Gonna see what it does at these highs. This has just been some shitty price. You gotta realize when there's shitty price action, right? And it's just not working for you. It's smart to just walk away. Because last thing you want to do is keep forcing trades in bad price action and keep getting stopped out. All right, we took out those highs. Now, see what happens here. Kind of rejecting off of view op. Is this thing gonna higher time frame? What's up? What's up? I'm good. How are you? Let's see higher time frame what's going on. I mean, we got room higher time frame wise. Look at these wicks. There's an imbalance up here that possibly may want to get filled, but we'll see. It all depends what it does at these highs. All right, here it goes. See what happens here. If we can really start to break above and displace and get some volume step in here, there you go. There you go. That's what I like to see. Let's see how this candle closes. Gonna see how this candle closes. If it leaves this imbalance behind, it'd be pretty interesting. All right. Seeing if I could guess some. All right, let me quickly look before this thing on higher time frame. Where are we? Did we fill that in? Oh, we did fill that imbalance. So let's see what happens here. Hopefully I don't get cooked twice. I'm gonna put my stop below this candle low here. And seeing if we could get buyers continue this momentum to the upside. We're above view op. If we start breaking view op, it starts looking ugly. But if we hold view op, there's room. I mean, unless this is a sweep, then I'm cooked. If this is a sweep. Golly, bro. This is the bad part. If you got like this really choppy market, I mean, it's like you get stopped on both directions. God. I think I'm cooked. Oh crap, is it? Oh, we got housing in 1 minute. Housing numbers. Here they come. Holy crap. That was close. Are you kidding me, bro? Are you kidding me? Not 2 times in a row. If this doesn't work out, I gotta end this. I am not seeing the market today if this thing doesn't. My rules are 2 strikes and you're out. So. Come on, we gotta get back above view op. We're back above the 200. Good sign. We got to break view op. We got to break the pivot point. So this has got to hold that support here. If this does not hold that support, I'm cooked. This has got to hold that support. Buyers stepping back in. Pushing back up through view op. Nice. 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 Stepping back in. Dang it. We gotta, this view op chop, we gotta get away from the view op. We gotta get away from it. Or else this thing is gonna get stuck at view op. You gotta break the high. Momentum coming back in. Three bar reversal, yeah. Yeah, we got to hold this view op area and continue. We do have, I mean, we have room to the upside. Again, I'm just been buying at this dangerous area of view op. When you're kind of when you're longing at a view op, there's a chance that you could get stuck in chop. But as long as you're going with momentum, you should be good, right? All right, let's see all these people have their stops above here, so if this thing really pushes that high, this could pop pretty aggressively. Let's see if it pops. Oh. All right, there's TP. Nice. 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 Yeah, all I'm doing is going with momentum, right? If I see buyers stepping in aggressively, I want to go with the buyers. Now I'm kind of like, I don't want to be greedy too. At the same time, if you look on a higher time frame, this is why I didn't want to be like, right? I want to take my base hit and call it, because look what's going on a higher time frame. We are approaching that 200 level, which we could reject. So here's the thing, right? If you start to get greedy, also look at the 15-minute chart. Everything is screaming bearish, right? We got a lot of resistance up here too. So this thing could easily just reverse. So don't want to be too greedy. Just want to take what the market gives me. Now, buyers are still pretty good as long as we hold this view op area, right? If we can't hold view op, then buyers are cooked. We start to drop below view op. We start to go for these lows down here. We're going to start breaking view op, and things start to get ugly for the buyers. So they have to kind of defend this level here. It all depends on how many buyers step in right here at this high. Could be a fake breakout. Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't want to be greedy, because it could be a fake breakout to go lower. I mean, it's not even that it's a fake breakout. There's just a lot of resistance up there. When you're trying to long and there's not a lot of resistance up there, and you see like a straight shot to a certain level without much holding it back, that's when you can be more confident to, you know, kind of have your target a little bit higher. But when you're trying to long and you look on a higher time frame and you got all these imbalances and you got all this resistance and you got the 200 on a higher time frame right there, it becomes more dangerous area to have higher target levels. So I think that's a big part of trading that a lot of people need to learn, is understanding when to hold a trade longer term, like when to hold a trade for bigger targets, and then when to take a base hit, right? That's important to know, because if you're always trying to go for those home runs, what's going to happen is you start getting stopped out a lot, and base hits add up. So it is a balance between like, to be honest, I took a break this I haven't been trading much this month. I've been taking a lot of breaks this month, which had some things come up, because, you know, with cars and stuff like that, and I wasn't able to trade. But I'm back. We'll see what happens. Today's been kind of weird, right? Today we just got like, and I guess you usually do get that. You get a little bit of chop before you get that initial move. And I would say, right, pay attention to where the pre-market levels are. When you look on a higher time frame, look what happened in the morning. We pretty much swept pre-market lows. So this 9:30 open, we swept pre-market lows and then we went higher. So this is looking like bulls tapping into that resistance level and just don't have enough momentum to keep it above VWAP. We're about to break below VWAP area, so starting to look ugly for the bulls, which is gonna I think it starts scaring a lot of bulls. Also, this 5-minute high range, right? If this thing can keep holding this 5-minute range and VWAP, we're looking good for the bullish side. If this thing starts breaking VWAP, breaking this 5-minute range back inside, I think it's going to start to scare a lot of bulls out. And what happens when you scare a lot of bulls out, the momentum to the upside starts dying, and sellers start taking over, and you get that reversal. Bitcoin, what is Bitcoin at? Didn't Bitcoin... Oh, crap, my bad. I always forget to move my... I forget you guys can't see. Hold on. What is Bitcoin at? $66K. I mean, Bitcoin has still room to the downside, which is crazy. Bitcoin could drop to 50K. I mean, that's like... That's not out of the question. I think... Seems like it still has room to the downside. I mean, I think it has room at least to like 50K. Which is an amazing buying opportunity for people. Oh yeah, there's a fight going on for sure. And that's the problem with VWAP. You have them battling it out at VWAP. It's nobody's in control, so you get this like chop at VWAP. Price is very balanced. So buyers aren't in control, sellers aren't in control. VWAP is a good area to use when we get those breakouts, right? Like kind of how I used it this morning. When you get a breakout and then it starts pulling back into VWAP, you would assume, right, it's breaking above VWAP, we're starting to displace, so buyers are in control. You would assume that we get a pullback to rebalance near that VWAP area, and then buyers step back in and get back in control. But yeah, that's the dangerous part of VWAP, is you get chop, because it's volume weighted average price. Price is very balanced, so you're gonna get chop to an extent. Possible, not always, but yeah, it could also be a retest level. It just all depends. Like, you have to kind of look at it as those levels. Like, if they can't defend this level and we start going lower, probably going for these lows down here, right? And when we get down to these lows, either we sweep these lows and buyers start stepping back in, or we start going for the next set of lows. Like, if buyers can't step in at these lows, then we're going even lower. It all just depends on when buyers start to step in. So as you can see, buyers are having trouble holding this level. So tapping into that imbalance. There was a tiny imbalance there that got filled. We got a reaction off that imbalance. But it's just that it's almost like trading is a game of defending levels. If you look at it like algorithmically, like you have different hedge funds battling out at certain levels. If one level can't hold, then guess what? We're going lower. If it takes out a level down there, if buyers can't step in aggressive enough, we're going lower. And anytime we're above VWAP, buyers are in control. Anytime we're below VWAP, sellers are in control. So it's starting to break VWAP here, which is probably going to scare a lot of buyers out. And that's why a lot of times, there it is. When you break VWAP, you see like the momentum down. It starts scaring a lot of algos out when we start breaking VWAP, right? People are managing damage. Nobody wants to stay in a trade and get, you know, a big loss. It's kind of interesting to see. And that's why kind of like I'm more of a break and retest trader. I love break and retests. Because first of all, if you can really like, you put yourself in such a good position when you go with momentum. And you're a break and retest trader with momentum. The only downside of a break and retest strategy is there are days in the market where the market chops sideways. You got to be very careful on those days. And that's why you have rules for yourself, right? Like my rule for myself, if I take 2 losses in a row, I'm locking out for the day. I don't see the market correctly. The market may be chopping around. It's not my, like, I should not be trading. But most of the time, I would say, or a lot of the time, when we break out of certain levels, especially when we're above VWAP and we displace above a certain level and we pull back and we retest that level, like there's a high chance that it's going to retest that level to go higher. And some form of buying pressure is going to try to support that level if we're above the VWAP. If we're below VWAP, right, selling pressure is going to try to keep it down. That's just the way I look at it, and I think it's a good way of, I think it's a good way of looking at it. I feel like a lot of people try to catch reversals in the market instead of waiting for buyers to really step in and then going with momentum, going with the trend. People try to catch reversals. Like if we're at a high, people try to short. Where sometimes it works, but you're just you're just kind of like, unless you have a solid strategy that you've back tested and it works. I've tried it, it just doesn't work for me. Trying to catch reversals does not work for me. Because the problem with reversals is you're going against momentum, right? When sellers are in control, you're the one trying to step in as a buyer. That's just how reversals work. I just hate doing that. And if it works for you, that's awesome. All right, so now back above VWAP. So we're just chopping at VWAP. There's nothing going on here. Oh, sorry. I forgot to answer some questions. Let me see. Somebody asked, do you have 100K funded? I have 7 50K fundeds. I have 2 funded accounts with Take Profit Trader, and I have 5 funded accounts with Apex. Exactly. It's never a genuine reversal. It's always a continuation on. Yeah, that's why high time frames are very important. Low time frames can be used to kind of scalp your entries, like get a good entry, but you should always pay attention to higher time frames. If you don't do that, you could be longing into like a resistance area, right? We could be short on higher time frames, and we could just be pushing up to a resistance, an imbalance, something like an obvious level that's going to probably keep us down. And then if you don't look at higher time frames, you don't realize that, and you're thinking this thing is going to just keep going up, and you end up getting stopped out, and you think that, you know. The pivot point worked a bit too. Yeah, pivot points work good. I mean, obviously, I don't use pivot points as like, just because it's at the pivot point, I don't take trades off of it. but they're definitely gauges. Like, if I'm in a long and there's a pivot right there, I'm very cautious because I know price could react off that pivot point. Like, you see what it did right there. Look how it reacted off that pivot point. I mean, it displaced above this level, and then as soon as it came up, can you see it? As soon as it came up to that pivot point, almost to a T, we just got a massive selling pressure step in. I don't know how it calculates these pivot points, but they seem to sometimes work very good. Let's see if there's another. Look at the... We have a pivot point down there that it didn't really reach, but... Uh-oh. Is this an inverse? Is this a head and shoulders? Would this be considered a head and shoulders? Because a head and shoulders is a bearish pattern. So this could be a... If this thing is a head and shoulders, this... Oh boy. This could be ugly. It kind of... I mean... Kind of not really, because this shoulder is higher. I don't know. I really don't know if that makes a difference. Like, we do kind of have a head and shoulders, but the problem is this shoulder is higher than that shoulder. I don't know if that makes a difference or not. Correct me if I'm... I don't trade these patterns. I just notice them. But... If somebody knows. Is One Funded a decent firm? I don't know anything about One Funded. To be honest with you, I would stay away from it just because, like, it does. I don't think it's a popular firm. I would honestly recommend stay away from firms that aren't, like, don't have a lot of credibility behind them. Like, just, there's no reason. Like, go with firms that have a lot of people using them, right? Because when you have a lot of firms, when you have a firm that a lot of people use, right, they're making their money. You can get payouts. But when you go with a firm that barely anyone is using, and you're going to go through the hassle of passing an evaluation, getting funded, getting to a payout, and then they're going to deny you the payout because they don't have the funds, because barely any people use them. Like, you don't want to be in that position. So the safest bet is always to go with the most popular firms, right? What are the most popular firms? You have Apex, you have Take Profit Trader, you have Tradeify, Lucid Trading is a pretty popular firm. So I would just stick to the most popular ones, and you don't want to do all that hard work just to get denied a payout. You want to put the odds as best in your favor as possible. And they all have pretty similar rules and similar price ranges. Sometimes, like Apex, I guess, is having a pretty good sale right now. But they all have their pluses and minuses here and there. But for the most part, they're all pretty similar. But if you have One Funded, I mean, I've just never used them, so I can't say if they're a good firm or not. I don't even know of people getting payouts from them, so I don't know. Right, and just because a firm's not popular, I'm not saying that they're not gonna pay you out. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that, like, you know, it's just less likely than an actual reputable firm. Uh-oh. Are we gonna start dropping for those lows? If this is a head and shoulders, and we start, oh boy, is this a falling? Oh boy, this is starting to look ugly for the bulls. Uh-oh. Oh, it's almost 10:30 too, so 10:30 you got to be careful too with reversals. We could get a reversal to the downside here. What is this chop? Bro, this the market's been doing this lately. We get these like crazy swings. Like look at this candle. How this candle was what, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I mean, you're getting like almost 60-point candles, which is wild. Look at this candle. This drop right here was 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. A 70-point candle. 60 to 70-point candles, like, dude, you get your ass handed to you if you're not. Like, this is the kind of market that you absolutely get destroyed if you don't have discipline and proper risk management. If you sized up too heavy and you have a 60-point candle go against you and you end up losing a crazy amount of money and then going on tilt, like, this is the kind of market that makes people blow accounts. Not only do you have 60 to 70-point candles, but you have chop at the same time. 60 to 70-point candle chop is like a recipe for destruction. Yeah, it's a recipe for bankruptcy for sure. It's like, look at the higher time frame. Look at this. Check this out. Look at this. What is this? It's like pin needles everywhere. Look at this chop. Freaking razor blade price action. It's just like, it looks crazy. Kamikaze. Yeah. Freaking kamikaze candles. If you fall into this, you're getting cut up. You're getting absolutely just like annihilated from all sides. End. Alright, starts. Right, you don't know what's gonna happen. I mean, it's like, it seems like it's dropping and it's gonna start going to the downside, and then all of a sudden you get that reversal back up. Where was my take profit? You know, I just realized. Bro, I'm pretty sure my take profit was like right here at the 940 level. I don't know if I can rewind. Can I? Oh, I can. My take profit was, yeah, my TP was 24,940. 24,940 was my TP. I had the perfect take profit. That's why I say do not be greedy. I realized that we got a lot of resistance on a higher time frame, and so I took a base hit. Think about it. If I was greedy, I would have been still stuck in this chop, possibly getting stopped out. So, all right. I mean, to be honest with you, I mean, I don't know if I'm going to take any more trades. I think I may be done for today because I don't really see, I mean, I already took 2 trades today. I don't think I should trade more. And who knows, we could just be stuck in this chop for the rest of the market morning. And if we get stuck in this chop, what am I supposed to do? I'm not trading this chop. I mean, I would trade if we should get some more, you know. But then here's the problem also. Trading into the 11 o'clock mark is also starts to get dangerous. Volume tends to die down. You know, it starts to... One more. If I had a good trade, that's the problem. If I had a good trade where I'm like the second trade where we get this like good price action displacement where if I can clearly take like a good trade that I'm confident in, then I wouldn't mind, but I don't want to take a trade just to take a trade. Because then I'm going to lose money today, and then I'm going to be pissed. Let me, while I wait, let me quickly, because I didn't trade yesterday. While I wait, I'm just kind of curious to see what was, if we can get an example of like what I'm looking for if it happened yesterday too. Actually, I don't know if I'll be able to see. I'll have to mark out. It's gonna be real quick. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to see because it's kind of still chop, same thing as yesterday. Yeah, it's. I'll have to mark out higher time frame levels. Like I can't just look at a 1 minute chart and say, like my levels need to be marked out. So, all right, we're starting to. I mean, who knows? To be honest with you, I say we're starting to go lower, but then it keeps reversing. So. See if this is an actual breakthrough. I mean, to be honest, if we could displace below this level, it may not be actually a bad trade. If we can actually get a displacement and not a sweep. You know, if say price starts to drop, starts to displace below, and then you get this like push back up to hold this as resistance, and you're kind of targeting these lows, thinking that, you know, price looks like it wants to go for those lows. May not be a bad trade, because also you got view op right there. So if you have your stop above that, kind of above this level up here, and you can target the lows, not a bad, you know, but you have to get confirmation, in my opinion, that this thing wants to go for those lows. Right now, this thing could like sweep and then move right back up, and you don't want to get caught in that sweep thinking that it's going lower. Here, give me a second. I'll be back in a second. All right. That's why I said you gotta wait for the displacement. Oh, crap. Bruh. But yeah, that's why I said you gotta wait for the displacement. If you don't wait for the displacement, this kind of crap can happen. And I see people doing this. They're trying to catch the breakouts or breakdowns. And instead of waiting for the displacement, they try to catch a breakdown and get caught in a sweep. And then end up getting stopped out. Honestly, if you would have just traded these little, like... the problem is you didn't know, really, that was gonna... Now we're back above VWAP, looking good to the upside. You never know. This is just like... Yeah, this is literally a casino. You really don't know what's gonna... That's why, as a trader, the only thing you could really do is wait for those confirmations. When you get those confirmations, you put your... Obviously, nothing is 100%. At the end of the day, us as traders, we're just taking trades based off of probability, based off of, like... You know, we're trying to go with the flow. We're trying to put ourselves in the best possible position to take the best possible trade to make money. And so, at the end of the day, it's probabilities. So, you never know, but you could put yourself in a better position than to wait for certain confirmations instead of trying to guess. What confirmation were you looking for? Like I was saying right earlier, I was like, this could be a possibly good short opportunity. But I was saying you gotta wait for the displacement. And by displacement, like I took a long right here, right? We started to break above this level. We were also above the VWAP area here. And when price started to break above that level, there was this imbalance there, and I was like, all right, if we displace, see how it closed very strong up here? That's a displacement. So I'm thinking when price pulls back, it's got to hold this massive level, right? This massive level, it's got to hold as support to go higher. And so we had that pullback. It pulled back a little deeper than I wanted it to. But, right, we did pull back. And then buyers started to hold that as support, and then we finally stepped back in. So, my confirmations are always displacements. And paired with an imbalance, too. That's another thing. When you have a displacement, and then you got an imbalance, and that imbalance is not, it's not some, like, whatever ICT crap. By an imbalance, for me, what it confirms that buyers are holding up the displacement. That's how I see it, right? Because you can get this push up, but if it doesn't form an imbalance, then that means sellers stepped in aggressively too. But when you get an imbalance, that means buyers held up that aggressiveness above that level, and it formed that gap that you can actually target off of. So that's how I look at it. I mean, we're in chop fest. Look at this crap. Again, right back to the highs and right back lower. That's crazy. To be honest, this may be good just to walk away, because is there a meeting today? No, there's no meeting today. There is, I mean, there was like some Fed speakers, I think, but there's no meeting. Trump is talking at 4. Some speakers are at 10:30. There's some FOMC speakers speaking at 10:30, which is now. Yeah. What do we have tomorrow? I'm just curious to see what tomorrow holds. Tomorrow's what, Friday? So tomorrow we got, oh crap, we got a lot of news tomorrow. 8:30 news, which I'm not going to be on for 8:30, but we got 9:45 news tomorrow. big red folder news at 9:45. So keep that in mind. And then we also have new home sales at 10 a.m., which I hate days like this. I hate days like this, because then you have 9:45 and you have 10 a.m. So you got to be so careful. I don't know why they can't just release all the news at once. Why they got to do this like wave crap? 8:30, 9:45, 10 a.m. Like, bro, just release everything at 8:30. Why does it matter if you do it at 10 o'clock or 9:45 or... So for 9:45, I'm gonna have to be flat for sure. That's like 100%. I gotta be flat. So like if I end up taking a trade before 9:45, I gotta cut it like a minute before that news comes out. Yeah, this is way too much chop. Yeah, so honestly, y'all, this may be good just to walk away. I mean, we're already at 10:40. We're getting closer to 11 o'clock. Volume is going to kind of start to die down, so we could just keep chopping till 11 a.m. We got a few good moves, but you know, it's kind of a day where you just take what you can and walk away when you can. Because the longer you sit here, I mean, unless you're disciplined and you're kind of wait for breakouts and you know, wait for actual price action, the traders that aren't disciplined can absolutely lose their accounts in this kind of price action. And that's why I say have rules for your, like, it's important to have rules. Have rules for yourself. If you take 2 losses in a row, just log off and walk away because you're not seeing the market. Like, if you take 2 losses in a row, you're clearly not seeing it correctly. Something's wrong. Well, my Valentine spent money back. Yeah, think about all the money you spent on Valentine's Day. Bruh, think about the accounts you could have bought. Like, take profit, 40% off. You kidding me? It's a lot of funded accounts. And funded accounts have a good ROI if you can trade them correctly. Dun, 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 dun. All right, this may be holding up as support right here. So if that's the case and we start getting a breakout. But a breakout is also now becomes like I've already taken a long here, so taking a breakout above this level just becomes also not the smartest thing to do either, because we're pushing up pretty high. Also, we got a pretty big imbalance there too. So even if we break above this high, you look on a higher time frame, right? We filled these first sets of imbalances. So we're tapping into the first set of resistance. If we end up breaking above this 950 level, I mean, we're pretty close to the next resistance area, which is this imbalance right here. Right? You're going to be pretty close to tapping right into that. Let me see if I can show you. Hold on. Give me a second. So, right, so you could see a similar thing would happen to here. You have this kind of resistance here that's holding up, and then if we break out there, we're tapping right into another area of resistance. this imbalance and this pretty big level right there as resistance, previous support. So, still dangerous to take a long. We are forming a bull flag though. This is a bull flag, which could signify this thing wants to go higher. Look at this. This is a textbook setup bull flag right here. Again, don't trade this just because it's a bull flag. But it is interesting. Because sometimes with bull flags, we do get this kind of like breakdown before we break back up. So like a fake out. But that is literally a textbook setup bull flag. Is this no. I'm a car dealer too. I buy and sell cars. Being a dealer is my main source of income. It's funny. I always have to specify, because sometimes when I tell people, I don't say car dealer, I say dealer. I remember I went to the doctor a while ago and he asked me what I do, and I'm like, I'm a dealer. He's like, he looks at me like really weird. I'm like, what the heck? Why? He's like, what do you mean dealer? Like drug dealer? I'm like, no, car dealer. Like, even if somebody was a drug dealer, like who would just openly admit, yeah, I'm a dealer? This is NQ. NASDAQ futures. Oh yeah, you could. 100%. I mean, you could make a living off of prop firms. I mean, I mean, there are people, you gotta understand, there are people getting like $100,000 payouts, $50,000 payouts. You could literally get one payout and you could be set for the rest of the year. With prop firms. Obviously, nobody really does. Like, nobody's gonna take a $50,000 payout and stop, right? Nobody's gonna do that. So, like, a lot of people are taking pretty decent size. And it's like, and you think about it, like, and this is me saying if you have the skill, right? Obviously, if you have the skill is the important part. Because that's when you can get pretty good payouts. Like, put it into perspective. Like, I have 7 accounts, right? If I run up and you have 7 accounts, let's say, right? You have 7 accounts and you take a 7,000, you run up every account and you take a $7,000 payout per account. That's pretty much a $50,000 payout, which, let's face it, with $50,000, you could survive a year off of $50,000. And like, if you really were like, obviously you're not going to be splurging, but if you live pretty conservatively and, you know, by yourself or whatever, you could. And obviously it's not like you're going to take a $50,000 payout and you're not going to do anything for the rest of the year. Like, you should always have others, like, income come. I don't think trading should ever be your only source of income. Like, I don't think that. I think trading should be something that gives you the freedom to do other things, like, right? Like, even if I was to make an insane amount of money from trading, I still would do the work that I do right now. Like, with cars, like, the only thing that would change is me probably buying more expensive cars. That's probably the only thing that would change. But I think you should always have, trading should give you the freedom to be able to do other sources of income and do other things that you like to do. It should be a door of, like, freedom for you, not, you know, not as a key to not have to do anything ever. And plus, when you have other sources of income, it puts you in a better mental state, right? Because you know you don't have to rely on trading And you're put in a better mental spot knowing that, like, well, I don't have to make money trading. So it's like, it's a lot more stress-free versus if you have bills to pay and you're sitting there stressing out, forcing trades because you have bills to pay. It's a horrible position to be in for trading. Yeah, free time and value time. Yeah. Time is our most important commodity, right? Because the thing about time is you can't buy time. Well, technically you can buy time if you buy other people's time, but in terms of your own time, you know, every day that goes by, we have less and less time. So you kind of like, you got to use your time wisely and do it and figure out what you like to do and do that job wise. Because if you can, if you can do a job that you enjoy doing, and even if you enjoy the job, it's not like you're gonna want to get up and go to work every day all cheerful, right? Even if you enjoy the job, there's still a level of discipline that plays into it. But at least you're disciplining yourself to do something you enjoy doing, in a sense, even though you have days where you don't want to do it. Anything you turn into a job becomes kind of something where you have to discipline yourself to do. It don't matter what it is. I guarantee you, even people playing in the NFL, the NBA, right? You think they have like the most dream job. Like they get to literally play basketball or football or do this for a living. But trust me, they have to discipline themselves. There's plenty of days where they don't want to go to practice. They don't want to do this. It's like, it's still a job to them, even though they make an insane amount of money. When you have time, basically you can do whatever you love to do, create something value. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it just gives you the freedom to be able to do what you love to do. Like people love to, I like to work on cars. I think it's fun, right? So that's something I like to do. So I do that as a business. Other people, I mean, especially, dude, we're honestly living in some of the most blessed times. Like you can literally monetize anything. I mean, you got streamers just walking around videotaping themselves, making an insane amount of money. You got people doing the most stupidest things, making a decent amount of money. Like you can literally monetize anything. I don't care what you like to do. You can do basket weaving. I guarantee you, if you do basket weaving, you could probably make some money doing that. Like there are probably a lot of people that also enjoy to do the same thing you enjoy to do. So if you make a YouTube channel of it or do something. All right, looks like this bull flag failed and did not work. But that was a bull flag. It goes to show, even if you have a textbook setup bull flag, doesn't mean it's gonna work out. Especially on a lower time frame, I guess. Lower time frames are always less likely to work out. Honestly, not really surprised it didn't work out considering previous price action and this chop we've been getting recently. Not really surprised. So yeah, I think I'm gonna, that's I'm gonna call it probably. Take Profit Trader is still 40% off if you're looking for a prop firm, or Take Profit Trader is a pretty good prop firm. They also have Take Profit Trader, the thing that got me with them, why I wanted to go with them, is their daily payouts. I think that's pretty cool. If you can get to a level where you can like start taking daily payouts, it's pretty cool. Especially if you have multiple accounts. Like I have 2 accounts with them. Like if you take $300 trade per account and you're above that buffer zone, you make $600, you could take a payout. And then you make another 600 tomorrow, you could take another payout of 600 and keep going. And you know, they're not. I think it comes out to like pretty much $100, so it's not bad. And if you take your time, right, you gotta. And here's the other thing, like you got a month to pass. Like when you're trading one account, like you can kind of blow the account, whatever. But when you start to get multiple accounts, like you're copy trading to pass multiple accounts, you gotta take your time. Like you don't want to blow $200 in one day because you couldn't be, you know, patient. When I usually, like when I was passing, so these 7 funded accounts I have, I was literally copy trading them all at once, trying to pass the evaluation. It took me a month to pass that evaluation. So you got to think about it, like if I would have spent that much money, like I think I spent like $500 and blew it, like I could have easily spent a couple $1,000 if I was not patient. What's your TP daily goal? I don't really have a daily goal. I don't, because the problem is when having a daily goal is if you don't hit that daily goal, you start to force trades. So I don't really have a daily goal. I just like, if I see a good trade, I take it. And, you know, if I'm break even on the day, I consider that a good day. Like if I have a break even day, that's a good day. That's not a bad day at all. And same thing, I look at it too. If I have a losing day, but I followed my rules, that's still considered a good day. The only way I can have a bad day is if I break my rules. If I go on tilt, if I force trades, take stupid trades, like it's the only way I can have a bad day. If I lose and I follow my rules, I have a good day. I walk away happy. I don't walk away like pissed off or whatnot. Like it is what it is. It's a part of trading. You're gonna have losses. And so that's why I don't have daily goals. I want to be up on the month, right? But in terms of daily goals, I don't think that really matters because you're going to start to force things. There are plenty of times in the market. There are times in the market where I come onto the market and I don't see any trades. Like maybe it chops around like it's doing today and I just don't see a setup. And if I don't see a setup, and I'm not going to force something. So if I have a daily goal and I start to force something, it just messes with my trading. But if I don't have a daily goal, I could just sit back and go, well, I didn't take a trade today. I can walk away and I'm fine with that. Also, look at it on higher time, not just monthly, right? Look at it on a yearly. I think if you have the yearly perspective, you're not forcing trades. Like if I'm looking at, like, look, it's February, right? We literally just started the new year. If I'm looking at, I want to be profitable this year, right? I'm not looking at day by day or even necessarily week by week. I'm looking at the whole year. I'm looking at, and that just gives me the good perspective of I don't have to force things because I have a literally, right, 10 more months of trading. I don't have to force anything. So that's my take. What time is it? All right, it's 56. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes. If you have any questions, you can ask them. I'm gonna hop off at 11 o'clock. Dude, this thing is literally, this is wild. I haven't seen this in a while. Like, we're literally getting the craziest swings, chop range. Usually when we have chop, it's like, you know, maybe like 40-point chop sideways and it just can't break out of a certain, this is like almost 100-point chop, which is insane. Let me run a concept by you. Yeah, what's the concept? All the way back up. And imagine the trader that maybe he took a trade in the beginning, got stopped out, right, and kept trying to force trades. Like if this is also the price action, if you keep trying to force it, right? You force it one time, you get stopped out. You force it a second time, you get stopped out. And you just keep getting stopped out. And after a certain point, you gotta say to yourself, like, I gotta stop. Because forcing something's never gonna work. I mean, it could work, but in the long run, it doesn't work. I mean, higher time frame, we also are above that 200. Actually, no, we're below it on the hourly chart. We're above it on the 15-minute chart. We've just pushed above it. Now we're holding, right? So look at this. We're holding now. We've broken above that level. We're kind of holding it as support. I mean, it's been chopping, but we are holding it as support. Dun, 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 dun. Man, I gotta play some music or something. I gotta figure out how to mark out on the most recent 2-hour fair value gap. Then look for the next most recent 1-hour fair value gap. Let that 1-hour fair value decide your bias. Is it above, then bullish? Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I see what you're saying. People do that, actually. There's a lot of traders that what they'll do is they'll start out from a high time frame, right? They'll mark out the most recent, like you said, 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour even. People go to 4 hour time frame. But let's say 1 hour. You mark out the 1 hour fair value gap. So you're looking at higher time frames from the get-go. So now, what are we doing, right? Say price is in an uptrend. We're in that 1 hour fair value gap. We've marked out that 1 hour. And now we're going to a lower time frame. So now maybe price is pulling back to that 1 hour fair value gap. Now you're looking at a 15-minute. Maybe we're holding another, and you go off of these higher time frames. And then when you have the 1 hour that's bullish, you have the 15-minute that's bullish, you have the 5-minute that's bullish, and you can actually stack different time frames that are telling you that we're going higher. You can position yourself in a very good spot. You're going with the trend. Right, you're looking. It is a good concept to use. If you can develop a rule set around that to kind of keep you from trading against the trend. You're always going with the trend. Pay attention to VWAP. But yeah, it's a good. What did I just do? It's a good. It's a good concept to use. Obviously, back test it, right? Try it out, back test it. And then the thing about trading a strategy, when you trade a strategy long enough, and make sure you learn, right? Because you're going to make mistakes. Certain things are going to happen oh, I shouldn't have took that. All right, this was pulling back into this fair value gap, but this happened. And I took a loss. So let me pay attention next time this thing happens. So maybe if it happens again, I need to stop doing that. You need to correct yourself and start to tweak that strategy to make it better and better and better and better so that over the long term, you can refine it and you can be really good at it. It's like the Bruce Lee quote. I love the Bruce Lee quote where it's you don't have to fear the man that knows how to do 10,000 kicks once. You have to fear the man that did one kick 1,000 times. It's similar to trading. It's not about knowing this strategy and this strategy and this strategy and kind of being some sort of an expert at a bunch of things. It's better to be the trader that you've hammered down the same strategy for years upon years upon years, and you've hammered it down. You know how to trade it. You know when to step away when the market's choppy. That's a dangerous trader, when he knows or she knows and has done this strategy for multiple years and has every single day you're just hammering the same strategy. That's when you get good at trading. But just hopping around for multiple strategies all the time, you never become an expert at one thing. And no matter, here's the other thing before I go. No matter what strategy you're going to go through periods where that strategy does not work as good. And that's where you got to kind of size down. You got to protect yourself. You got to protect yourself, because there are going to be times where A strategy may work really good for you and you feel like you're on top of the world and you just keep taking win after win after win after win. But there's going to come a time where you're going to seem like you're just going to be taking loss after loss after loss. That's the time where you got to size down, protect yourself. That's what separates. The winning streaks is not what separates good traders from bad traders. It's the losing streaks that separates the good traders from the bad traders. The traders that can size down and protect their account on losing streaks and then size up on winning streaks. But what the bad trader does is when he goes through a losing streak, or she ends up sizing up on the losing streak to make it back faster. That does not work. You end up blowing your account faster. It's all about capital preservation, playing defense, just as important. It's what I've been doing and it's been crushing. Nice. Yeah, if it works, keep doing it, and yeah, keep paying attention. If you take a loss, pay attention if you could have done something different, you know. If not, then, you know, move on, and it's awesome. Continue doing that strategy. It feels good when you find a strategy that finally works for you, right? When I started trading, I was hopping around for multiple strategies, which is kind of something you have to do when you start trading, to try to find what resonates with you. And then when you find it, you kind of stick to it and don't waver from it just because you go on a losing streak. Because it's gonna come. Trust me, it's gonna come. Markets are shifting. Markets change. We get choppiness. We get bull runs. We get bears cycles. There's so many market cycles that happen. But yeah, all right. All right, it's 11:04, so I'm gonna hop off. I mean, we're still stuck in chop. So it took 2 trades, pretty decent day. Did you say don't weaver from? Yeah, is that not right? Wait, oh, waver, my bad. I meant waver. I said weaver. Is weaver a word? Let me look it up. Hold on. Weaver. I know Weaver isn't that a band? Weaver. No, it's not a word. Oh, wait. It is a word, but what does it mean? I hate when freaking dictionaries do this crap. Why do they do this? You look up the definition of a word, weaver. What do? They use the freaking word in the definition. One that weaves. Wow, okay. That helps a lot, thank you. What is this BS? One that weaves. Well, I'm trying to figure out what weaves mean. It's the same thing as weaver. You can't use the word in the definition to describe the word. Who thought that was a good idea? One that basket weaves. I guess you can use it. One that weaves. One weaver. Weavering. Weaver. It just sounds weird. It does sound weird. Isn't Weaver a band? Hold on. Before I leave, I gotta... It is a band. I knew... Wait, no. I'm a Japanese band. It's a lyric in a song, isn't it? A lyric. Weaver. All right, I gotta stop. All right. I'm gonna call it. Yeah. So that's it. Good time to walk away. It's 11 o'clock. We're going into lunch hour. It's gonna probably get slower. Maybe it actually picks a direction. Who knows? But I think it's good to walk away. Tomorrow's gonna come. Tomorrow's gonna be pretty crazy considering how much news we got coming out tomorrow. So I gotta be very careful tomorrow with my trading. We'll see what happens though. I'll be back tomorrow to finish it off. Hopefully it's a good Friday to start off the week. Other than that, y'all have a good day. Enjoy your day. Don't overtrade, and I'll see you guys.